You guys know every year Midnighters and shorts. That's our jam. I fucking love the Midnighters shorts section and the animated shorts section the best. So we watched three of the Midnighters, which is how we're going to call it a day. What a way to end the day. Let me just tell you that. So there are three vastly different movies. So we're going to start with the first one, the Mogai. One
Woo!
of my
Yeah,
favorite things.
that was creepy as shit.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is watching folktale horror movies from other cultures.
Oh,
There-
really?
There's this whole movie that was at Fantastic Fest called the Handbook for like the Field Guide to Evil. And it's a bunch of anthology films from around the world of their folktale horror stories. Because it's interesting to see how horror is and the common threads throughout the different cultures around the world who had no contact for the longest time. So I find it very interesting the universal things that scare people. So this was an Aboriginal tale about a white ghost that steals babies. And it was like I told Jessica, I wanted to see the monster, but I'm glad they didn't show it. Um, and when I was watching it, it took me back to when we first came home with Brett, and Jacqueline was dealing with a lot of postpartum. And there was a lot of fear and
Mhm.
anxiety and things like that. And so I'm wondering if this horror story was brought on by the unexplained way Aboriginal women were very hormonal and different after birth. Um, Kind of an interesting way to put this, but what did you think of this film?
I actually thought of the postpartum thing too. I have never had kids, but I have a lot of friends who have had kids, and I know what postpartum depression is, and it's terrible for a woman to have to go through that. My God, they're trying to take on their new role as motherhood, or as motherhood. It is late. As a mother in motherhood, and they like hormones go crazy. And I've had some friends tell me that like they couldn't get out of bed and their baby's crying, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so scared. I can't go get my baby." I mean, how horrible. And I also wondered if we were watching someone's retelling of a woman going through postpartum, but at the same time, I hadn't researched. Is it Mugai? Mogai?
Yeah, Moogai.
Yeah, Mugai. I didn't know anything about it before it started, so I mean, it really could just be that lore. It's just that lore, and really doesn't have anything to do with postpartum. Like, apparently, there's a white scary thing with scaly ass, long ass fingers that takes your fucking baby. That is terrifying.
That's all you see of the monster are the hands. It's described in the movie, and like the reason I got the postpartum part of it was because the husband didn't see it until the end. And then, yeah, it doesn't end well, apparently, obviously. And I love horror
No.
movies that do that and they don't end well. Like, you
Like,
can't,
do you think the kids at the end in the field were all the stolen babies?
yeah, all the stolen children over time. It's like they just follow this thing around. They're forced to. I mean, hello, he's their captor.
It's like a weird Pied Piper.
Yeah, a very weird Pied Piper.
It was well done. I mean, again, production values, whoop, like it was really, really well done. The acting was great. The directing was great. The only thing, y'all got a newborn and it never cries. That baby
Yeah,
never cried. Fuck you. That's the only thing. I was like, that baby, that's a newborn baby. That baby gonna be crying all. It was always asleep and
yeah.
cooing so gently. I'm like, that's not a newborn baby. Nope.
They have the quiet baby, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that one was interesting. And then we followed up with a film about satanic shit magic. Like,
Yes, thank you. Because I wanted to ask you, what the fuck did I watch?
it's called Run That Shit. And it's about this wannabe rap star who apparently makes a deal with the devil and who runs a pawn shop in Georgia.
Which sounds
And he
pretty
has to go
accurate.
steal a chamber pot from another rap star who already made the deal with him. Like,
right. So the rap star, right. So let me ask you a question. The rap star that was already famous would shit in the chamber pot, and I guess he gave that shit to the devil. Like that was the deal that they had going on.
Yeah, because according to the devil, your soul is in your pile of shit.
Right. And so then the wannabe rap star was supposed to steal the shit and give it to the devil, but the devil apparently didn't explain to the kid
that's what he wanted.
Yeah, and that's not really fair. Like from what, like all the shit I've read about the devil, like he makes fair deals. He doesn't try to trick you. Like he's like, no, you do this for me, I get your soul. But he doesn't like fucking cut corners or like try to trick you. Like the devil's the devil, and you're gonna get exactly what you want as long as you give him what he wants. So I thought that was kind of shitty and didn't do the devil fair by like making it look like he didn't have good communication skills, because this kid was like, "Oh, you wanted the shit in the pot."
He was relying on the Hellions. I loved the Hellions.
Oh,
the Hellions,
what the hell?
They're jackasses.
You know what? So, they should have kept the ski masks on. Really were very upsetting, because you would just see like this trickle of blood come out. And of course they had contacts in. When they fucking took off the ski masks and they had like clearly had white face, dark eyes, I was like, oh, that's costume makeup. Okay, now
they worked really well with the masks.
They should have kept those fucking thrift store ski masks on, because also like they were so jacked up, it just really worked to have them covered up like that. When you took off the mask, they looked like they're like 16-year-old boys, and it was like, well, that's just stupid. But yeah, I love that they were absolute jackasses, just fucking morons.
Give the car, let's go. Like, fuck, like it's hot, turn the heater. Like that was just humorously fucking funny, because there's no way to describe it than satanic shit magic. Like
satanic shit magic. Again, well done. Like production values, acting, directing. The guy who played Satan, I mean, I would buy that some dude in a Georgia pawn shop is actually Satan. I would buy that.
Yeah, which then takes us to hands down my favorite so far.
Oh my God.
Stuffed.
Sweetie. It was Andrew Lloyd Webber meets Sweeney Todd, taxidermy style. It was brilliant. That fucking composer literally composed an operetta. It was absolutely so brilliant, so divine. The lyrics were Sondheim level. It was absolutely brilliant. And then it broke my heart. And that's supposed to.
Yeah, so it's a musical about a woman who's a taxidermist who is bored and wants to taxidermy a human, and she finds someone who wants to be taxidermied, and there's this fucked up love story and a Gift of the Magi twist shit. And
what was the Gift of the Magi?
The Gift of the Magi is the one where he sells his watch to get her like
no. But what? No, I know what that is. What's the Gift of the Magi correlation between this story?
They fell in love with each other, but they didn't tell each other. Like she thought she was going to kill him because that's what he wanted to be for. Or she wanted him to be happy. He was going to die, so she'd be happy. And then when he was given the poison, he said, "I love you." But she was like, no, he's going to die. I need this perfection. And so she kind of flipped a little bit right there and then realized, I'm not happy.
I didn't get Gift of the Magi vibes. That's interesting that you said that, though. Like, I'm not arguing with you. That's interesting. I got that she never, like, okay, I was listening to those lyrics. Those lyrics were fucking next level Sondheim. That was some shit. She had doubts about going through with it. But then by the time she'd made the poison and brought it to him and he's like, I love you. And she kind of looks away. I'm like, no, she's back on her game. She's not having any more doubts. That was a whole process. That was a journey she took us on. She's back on it. She's sure about it. And she no longer wavered. And the heartbreaking the obvious heartbreak is him because he's in love with her and he just has to go through with it because she doesn't feel the same way. So that's a very simple heartbreak. But the more complicated one to me was that she had to go through all that to realize that she was still unfulfilled. By the way, she made him look like a completely different person. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, she took off his face and I'm like, was that a past lover? Like, who the fuck was that dude at the end?
I think it's my favorite part of that part was when she's covered in blood and she's just sitting there drinking some tea, looking out the window like, this is normal for me. But no, if you listen to the lyrics when she's making the poise, she's saying, I want to do what I need to do to make him happy. This is what he wants. And he's singing, I'm going to do this to make her happy because that's what she wants.
That's more painful.
And then she just
who did she make? That dude was not the dude she killed or that died for her. Who the fuck was that dude at the end?
He had like these weird wrinkles, like horrible taxidermy job. Like I would be mortified.
Well, it was so, I mean, like real talk, like props costume. That was actually a real person because you could tell the face was put on. That person was a person standing in a costume. But what I didn't understand was it all of a sudden gave me backstory or gave me the feeling that there was backstory that I didn't have because I thought at the end of the story, it was going to be the same guy that we've been on this journey with because all she wanted to do was taxidermy him. No, she took off his face, put it someplace else, put a new whose fucking face was that? Put on a new fucking face on this guy. It's a completely different man. Was she recreating a past lover? Was she recreating someone who she wanted?
Because you have to take the skin off and basically make a dummy out of it. So she was sewing all the pieces back together and stuffing it.
How do you know so much about taxidermy, you goddamn freak?
She had to cut humans differently than the animals, so there was weird stitchings. And yeah, I don't think she did a good job of but she'd never taxidermied a human before. So that was the other thing. There's a difference between animals and then humans. So like animals have fur and stuff that you can kind of cover up things, but just flat skin. So I understand that part, but she was real ugly taxidermy. Like I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't think.
Okay. So she wasn't trying to create a different human.
No, because they did the montage of sewing him all back together with the threads and taking everything off and drying it and they showed you the parts where she was doing it, but she God, that was so good. That was just.
I'm gonna have to watch that. Well, maybe I don't know if I'm watching. It was that person, whoever that filmmaker is, because that filmmaker. The person who filmed, I don't know if the cinematographer was the same or not. I better not say that. That person who wrote that score must be a musical theater composer major. Oh my God. That score and those lyrics. Didn't you hear Sondheim, Sweeney Todd in there?
I thought Sweeney Todd all the time. Whereas Sweeney Todd is very darker. This was very more horror romance. I loved it.
Well, Sweeney Todd is absolutely horror romance between Sweeney Todd and Mrs. Lovett.
Not as much though.
Is that her name?
Bitch driven.
Right, but I'm not talking about him as the individual character. I'm talking about their relationship because it's based on fucking killing people and putting them into pies so that she has better sales. That's super fucking horror romance. Huh?
Yeah. The worst pies in London.
The worst pies in London. Oh man, yeah, that was really good.
Yeah,
masterful. That's the best. Like, I've never seen that level of mastering. At least I think mastering a particular genre of not film, but like I've never seen someone come that close to the majestic master who is Sondheim. And Sweeney Todd is like, and Sweeney Todd, I mean, obviously I'm a huge Stephen Sondheim fan. I did musical theater for a lot of my life. So it's not that I know what I'm talking about. It's just, I know what I like. And
yeah,
I have never seen someone come that close. And also just like it was filmed very well. Like the lighting, I mean, come on. You have to have good lighting for a piece like this because first of all, ambiance is super fucking important. And like, did you notice like, well, I don't remember what part, but there like the shot was of a fox. And then to show that it had transitioned to morning, the lighting on the fox goes from like the moonlight dark to sunlight. It was really good.
It was also the background things like the silhouettes on the wall that you would see the spider walking through, like
yes,
the spiders, like it was like
the spider on the taxidermied baby duck. Do you remember that?
Yes. The other thing is everything was in such small spaces because it was in England, so the houses and things are compact. And it didn't feel like you were just like it felt like you were in these small rooms with them, but not that you were in these small rooms with them. It did that great balance of letting you be a part of it without that claustrophobic aspect.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that or not.
No, I absolutely did. I absolutely felt I did not feel claustrophobic any tighter than I would have because you really were in that goddamn room. It was filmed super tight. Like you were in that room with them. You were part of that musical. Oh my God. This is one of the best things I've ever seen. I cannot get over the mastery of filmmaking and composition. Holy shit. I gotta follow this filmmaker, man. This composer.
I'm probably gonna watch this one again with Phil, but I think that's 3 standouts today for me then. 3 standouts today at the end of day one.
Which were your 3 standouts?
Fem.
Yes.
Soak.
Yeah.
And this one, Stuffed. Wait, was it Stoked or the one before it?
Huh?
I gotta remember. It was one of the shorts we did. I gotta go back and look at my notes.
Soak was the one with the Korean filmmaker, and she had sold her mom out to the dad at the end. That was Soak.
Yeah, Soak was that was So those are my 3 from the day that I just think stood out majorly.
Totally agree, but I also got to throw Squeegee in there, man.
Yeah, because Squeegee, I could see you being in Squeegee. Like, no fault on that part, no shame. But I could see you taking on that role just for the blowjob scene.
Oh my God. I would kill. Here's my favorite thing about Squeegee. And this is my favorite thing about comedy across the board. You have to take it seriously. And those 2 people were like, I'm going to fuck you through this glass. And they did. And I was like, they did it. There was no half-assed, like they went for it. Like, and that is the power of really talented actors who understand what comedy is, because anything less than that, I believe I mean, it didn't happen, but I believe that happened. And then what made me believe it even more was like, at the end, she totally reacted the way a top executive woman who's probably married with kids, tons of money, shops at Saks Fifth Avenue like it's nothing, sees this dude that she just had like this one night stand or one glass moment, whatever. And he's like, he's a window washer. He's not good enough for me or whatever. And she fucking bolts. And I was like, I totally believe that this could absolutely happen. And that's the beauty of understanding comedy and playing it seriously.
Well, that's it for our day one. We'll be back tomorrow. Jessica will be on her Twitch channel tomorrow evening.
Yes. Come hang out with me on Twitch. We're playing Among Us. And we're also going to be on my Discord. And we're going to have voice so you can talk to me while we play the game. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So while she's doing that, I may watch some music acts that are kind of weird. So you can catch her on Twitch doing her thing. I'll probably do some during that time, but I might take tomorrow evening off since we really have a lot to get through Saturday. Yeah. But we're doing pretty well. I think we've handled most of the narrative shorts. I think we're done with no, we still have half the narrative shorts. But we haven't even touched animated. So, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun.
We have the narrative shorts. We've got the animated shorts. We've got all the documentary shorts. Then we Texas shorts. And we have the shorts that aren't narrative. And I forget what they're called.
The high school shorts.
The high school shorts. Yeah.
I don't know if they're there. I didn't see them on the list, but yeah, we're going to be watching a bunch of shorts and a couple more movies and sessions. And so, yes, we'll report back to you on everything we did. And I must admit, I like the idea that we're not just limited to the film with the badge, that we can now experience everything.
Yeah.
Whereas usually it's just you get in the standby line for music, maybe if you're lucky. But I usually don't go anywhere near 6th Street for music because I've been down there a few times and it's skeezy. That's the only way I can put it.
Yeah, and it's drunk college kids on spring break too. I mean, not that they don't have a right to be there and like enjoy music as well, but they're really there for spring break, not so much South by. So yeah, this is awesome. I'm going to check out some music acts too. I don't know which ones, but and I also want to check out some of the keynote speakers. Stacey Abrams and
yours than I do.
Say what?
I've got like one. I think I only have one keynote speaker, which is the musician lady.
Imogen Heap. Oh, I cannot wait to watch see her. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, awesome. Great first day for Gavica.
I miss Gavica. I really do.
I know.
So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you guys for checking this out. A lot of people have checked us out so far. So yes.
Awesome.
I'm excited. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
I guess today, since it's after midnight.